gonna spend next 50 hours in solitary confinement. Actually, I'm gonna spend the 50 hours in my bathroom, which looks like a prison. I mean, there's hardly any sounds and the room is completely white. And this time I'm not gonna see it. And only things that I'm gonna bring with me are food and water and my sketchbook and mechanical pencil and eraser and a fine liner. And I'm gonna also hide the clock on my phone that I don't know what time it is or what day it is. And I'm gonna also put a sticker on my phone screen to cover the clock at my phone's top left corner. And I also try to remember to not swipe down, because then there's this drop down menu that shows me the time and day. Welcome to this place again, but this time I'm gonna spend 2 days in here instead of just 1. And yes, some of my clips you see that the door is open, and the reason is that the heat starting to be a safety issue. Around halfway through is day 1, I started to have symptoms of heat exhaustion, so I had to time to time open the door and get some cool air in, because the day that I decided to do this challenge, the outside temperature was like almost 32 degrees Celsius. So because my home doesn't have any sort of air conditioning or any fans, so it get really hot inside of my tiny little room. I had to make the decision that I had to cheat and open the door. Good morning. I have no idea what time it is. I think that I slept quite well, probably because yesterday I slept only 4 hours, because I was way too excited if BN7 actually get those 256 signees in 24 hours. And I really wanted to see if he can pull that off or not. Yes, every challenge maker's guide last checklist. Let's see how many I can check off. 1. Eat beans, especially if you don't like them. 2. Run out of water before your challenge is over. 3. Complain. Example, your back hurts, your butt hurts, it's too hot, there's bugs everywhere. 4. Miss your loved ones. 5. Get bored. 6. Don't sleep well. 7. Your challenge is outdoors and it is overnight one. Do not make sure that your tent is waterproof. 8. Underestimate your challenge difficulty. Other things to yap about. I totally agree on what BN7 said, that influencers should talk more about other stuff that they have to do, because most of the time influencers have an actual business or businesses, and being an influencer isn't just sitting in front of a camera and just talking for X amount of time. You have to also do other things like taxes and figure out schedules and appointments, and if you have employees you have to take care of them as well, like their taxes and their insurances and schedules and everything, etc., etc. And also, my opinion, influencers are not really talking about this, which is kind of a shame, because if you are an upcoming influencer, you don't really know about these things, or you don't consider them when you're starting, and then the viewers get pissed at you, like, what do you mean by sitting in a meeting? Like, isn't your job filming yourself? I mean, that isn't true at all. There are also many other things besides the filming. Maybe I made this challenge way too easy by allowing myself have a pen, because now I can be like, oh, I can just doodle for 50 hours and that's it. If this would be anyone else's challenge, I think that they would not allow me to have a pen, and it's still extremely hot in here, but I think that I got over my heat exhaustion by eating and drinking sparkling water, and that definitely helped and made me feel way better. So that's good. And after this challenge is over, I'm gonna color this. And also, the reason why I chose my niche was that I really liked, like I already mentioned in somewhere on my video, that I really loved obstacle courses as a kid. And one day I just decided that, you know what, I can do this too. And what I wanna bring to people is that you don't have to be a millionaire to do these challenges. Like, you don't need millions and millions and millions of whatever currency that you use. I think that maybe it's nice to bring challenges down to earth, that everyone can do these things. I mean, don't take me wrong, money would be really nice. Like, I could make myself a laser shooting mace or something like that. But if I would have money and I would be actual influencer, what I actually would use the money for would be made an organization that teaches kids how to swim for free, because I'm kind of tired reading those headlines that some kid drowned because their parents thought that lifeguards are babysitters, or they were too occupied by their phones, which is really, really sad and frustrating. I mean, this event happens every single year, and I read multiple of those headlines that some young kid drowned, and it is more and more occurring because of the climate change. Have part of it when there's more and more hot days and people are going to the beach more and more often, so more chances to drown. So I think that is even more important that kids are learning how to swim, because that can save your life. And the problem is that there are lots of low income families in my country and others, and usually those low income families are also from countries that there is no opportunities to swim. I know how expensive swimming lessons can get, and also in schools swimming lessons are really varied. Like some schools are teaching you small amount, or some schools are not teaching you at all. So there is even more and more children that don't know how to swim. So if I get to the point that I start making a considerable amount of money, I'm gonna definitely put up a company who teaches children how to swim for free, that I don't have to read those headlines again. End of day 1. The day went quite well, besides the hotness. I haven't got bored yet, but we have see. And now I'm going to bed now. So let's do a night routine together. Here's my night routine that every single skincare guru can cringe at. By me using only 4 skincare products, because no way that I have time for using 10 or 16 different skincare products. Do they even do anything at that point? And also, I'm not sponsored by this company. I'm just using their products because I like them, and my skin is very dry and sensitive, so I get irritation out of most of products, and I also most of the time hate scents, because most of the scented products, the scent is way too strong for my liking. And back to the topic, being a new influencer or newbie in general on YouTube. But those other influencers are not telling you, or those people who are making those guide videos how to be successful on YouTube, are not telling you that talking to a camera isn't easy as you think. You have to find your voice and learn how to speak. And also, what they are not telling you, how expensive equipment can get. Like, do you know how expensive cameras are, or microphones, and not even mentioning editing softwares. And even if you are say that you are using free ones, you still have to buy yourself a camera and microphone. And then there's also lights and other stuff that you may need. And even if you decide that, okay, I'm gonna just use a phone. Do you know how expensive phones can get? Like even phones these days are, most of the time it's over 300 euros, at least in my country, if you want like a decent phone. And even if you follow those people's guides to the letter, you still may not get what you want. And besides, you are not making a single cent out of ads. Like if you're lucky, the ad's gonna pay you maybe $5. Or maybe if you get really, really lucky, you're gonna get paid like $10. That most of the influencers' money are coming from sponsorships and collabs with other companies or their own business, but they are not telling you that. They are just selling you this dream and all the luxuries without telling you that you have to actually work for it and put many, many, many hours into this thing. And when you are starting out, you don't know about these things or even realize how much work you have to put in. And even after that, your all hard work may not pay off. And if it does pay off and you come actually a successful influencer, what happens then most of the time that those influencers are losing their heads and thinking that they did all that by themselves, even though that is not true. The viewers got you there and they desire to support you. And so many times influencers forget that. They stop appreciating their supporters and viewers because without them they wouldn't be anything. So you should start appreciating your viewers and not taking your excess out of grant. What I'm gonna show you is realistic journey of a new influencer and a newbie in YouTube space, which is sucking and even more sucking and failing and failing and then even more failures and if I ever get sponsorships, I'm not gonna accept them if I don't actually use the product and actually like it, because I'm sick and tired of influencers promoting me horse crap or them lying to my face. And I wanna bring honesty into the YouTube space. And if I ever launch a product myself, I'm gonna try my absolute best to make sure that it is a quality one. Good morning, it's day 2 and in couple hours I get to leave this stupid place. I slept okay, not good, not bad. The mattress contraption that I made isn't that good, so I can still feel the floor and the space is really tight, so it makes sleeping quite difficult. But overall the challenge went okay, not anything major difficulties. 40 minutes left. How do I know? I forgot that my phone's clock app shows what time it is. Yay, I'm finally done with my challenge. And I'm never gonna do this again. And if you check off every single one of these things on the list, congratulations, you are now pro challenge maker.